Hi, my name's Sydney. Today I'm going to be talking about the drag race YouTube video. So in the beginning of the video, Phil makes a dragster car using like popsicle sticks, shish kebabs, where's it at? Popsicle sticks, straws, shish kebabs, rubber bands, and wheels made out of cardboard. He ties some string around like the axle of the popsicle stick car, and pulls the string to get the wheels moving, and the car moves without pushing it. And this demonstrates Newton's first law of motion, which is an object at rest tends to stay at rest, and an object at motion tends to stay in motion. This also kind of demonstrates the concept of inertia, which is the tendency for an object to resist change in motion. So in order to make the car go faster, Phil makes it a little heavier, so it resists, I guess, friction, and it has more inertia, so it wants to resist a change in motion more. So to give the car more inertia, Phil uses modeling clay, and he wraps it around the cardboard wheels to make them heavier, so it keeps moving for longer, and doesn't get stopped by friction from the ground. So Phil decides to make a maxed out version of this. So he uses like 2x4s to make the frame of the car, and he also uses bike tires, and he uses a rope that's wrapped around a spindle, which is attached to the wheels of the car or the dragster to get it moving. Phil tried to like sit on this and like ride the car, and it didn't work because the wheels could not support the weight of the car and him on it, so they needed to make a bigger version of it with like sturdier wheels and like a sturdier frame. Phil also did an experiment with the concept of inertia. He put a like a crystal looking like glass cup of water on a piece of paper, and he moved the paper around slowly on a table, and the glass moves with the paper because the inertia or the friction of the paper moving on the table and like on the glass overpowers the inertia of like you moving the paper. But if you move the paper like quickly and like pull it out from underneath of it, pretty much the friction isn't enough to overpower the inertia, and the glass stays in place. And he also did this like with a table that was like fully set with like plates and stuff. If you pull the tablecloth fast enough, then all the plates and things will stay in place because the friction can't overpower the inertia. He also discussed Newton's 3 laws. So the one we've been talking about, the first law, an object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion. The second law is force equals mass times acceleration. So the force of an object is equal to its mass multiplied by its acceleration. Duh. And the third law, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So to like show that, he had himself like hanging from like a beam or something, and he also had like a bag of sandbags that weighed the same amount he did. And as he was hanging from this crane or whatever, he pushed like the sandbags, and as he pushes them away, he is all, like pushed backwards, so it's like that kind of, if that makes sense. And they're also pushed at the same rate and at the same distance, because for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So finally, the maxed out version of the dragster, they used, oh, let me go back. We're still on the wood frame. So to give the wheels, I guess, more spin, they used a power tool to make the wheels spin instead of just pulling a rope. With someone sitting in the frame of the car didn't move because there was, again, too much weight on it. So they decided to, I guess, remake the frame of the car. They ended up using like metal beams and car tires. I think they used like a car's back axle for the 2 wheels. And they also they had a car jacked up so its front wheels weren't touching the ground, and they had the dragster car jacked up so its wheels weren't touching the ground, and the wheels on the car were spinning while touching the wheels on the dragster to give them enough spin, because they couldn't like find anything else that I guess could make the wheel spin fast enough. But yeah, this worked. It didn't really go that far or that fast, but I don't know. I guess it is kind of cool that they were able to make the car move without like pushing it or having some kind of motor on it. But yeah, thank you.